we've got a banger for you here. This is crazy. Like a genuinely bona fide, crazy to the point of being unbelievable thing that happened in the world of Counter-Strike. And like a lot of things this episode, I'm going to talk about my fucking self, right? As it relates to it, because it is linked. It is linked. Sometimes old professionals, they come back into the scene in strange ways. And sometimes it's in ways you cannot believe or cannot fathom. Now, I'm going to be talking about the ex-Na'Vi player, IGL, CSGO major winner with Gambit, Zeus. And you'll remember, Zeus was a regular topic of discussion on By the Numbers back when we used to do that podcast. Now, By the Numbers, the reason Zeus would come up a lot was because Zeus was a fucking bona fide asshole. In esports, I interviewed Zeus back when Na'Vi were a really, really good 1.16. And I remember him being so unbelievably rude. Like, I think I might have misspoke and said, it was something along the lines of, like, you're the best team in Europe right now, so that means you're the best team in the world right now. So it was something like that. And he said, which other region would be better, you fucking idiot? Said that to an interviewer with a fucking recording device in his face. I was like, okay. He was so obnoxiously aggressive to people just in general as a player. Thought because he was a bit of a muscle boy, he'd walk around and fucking try and intimidate people and fucking square up. An absolute fucking imbecile as well. I mean, I know Duncan's always defended him and said he's not an idiot. And to call him, like, he was very angry about the score. They did a video called the Meathead IGL, the Meathead Genius or something that won a major or something like that. He is an idiot. And one of the things we used to complain about, I mean, I remember this vividly. He used to go to after parties. And look, after party sort of has to be treated like a green room for a lot of reasons. Everyone's blowing off steam. People are having a drink. People are decompressing after a stressful situation, whether it's as a player, you might have gone out of a tournament or just lost a final, or whether it's broadcast talent, you might have just been working 12, 14-hour days for a week, and you want to fucking wet your whistle and fucking get turned up, right? And also you get to hang out with everyone and see everybody again. But also some people are going to these places and they cheat on their girlfriends or boyfriends. They get too drunk. People have arguments, people settle scores and beefs, people have to get involved. But the rule is, what goes on tour stays on tour, right? By the way, I've seen players in some unbelievable states. If it doesn't go public, it's not going public because it's me. I've seen some players behave terribly. I think the only one I've ever said was the Kiyashima story about Mino Speaky Englando, because it was just so ridiculous that he just won a fucking major and was doing that. I've seen people cheat on their girlfriends at after parties, and that's none of my business. That's a them thing. Who am I? I'm not the moral arbiter of whether you should cheat or not. If I see you doing anything, grab handy or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna throw you out. I'll do it myself. I won't even wait for the fucking security. And but I've never seen anybody do that in person around me. Cheating, not in the same fucking league, not by a million miles, not by a minute, none of my business. So after parties have to be sacrosanct. You have to treat them as a, dare I say, safe space. And Zeus used to come to these after parties and film them. And he wouldn't tell you he was filming them. He would film it secretly from a distance, like a pervert in a bush. I remember there was one after party. He had his phone up. He was fucking on the other side of the room, and me and Duncan were sat having a beer talking, and he just looked up and he said, "You fucking seen this?" And Zeus was like just pointing like a camera or his phone camera at him. And Duncan got up and said, "What the fuck are you doing, mate?" He goes, "I tell you what, you better not fucking film me again at an after party, mate." And he was going, "Oh, we're just having some fun. I'm just getting some content." He went, "I better not be in it." And then he came and sat back down, right? By the way, that's your hard man, Zeus. Confronted, and he thought, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then he goes online and acts like the fucking Billy Big Bollocks. So uh, uh, that's just unforgivable. And we talked about this on By the Numbers on our episode because, you want to fucking film at an after party. The only thing I'm going to say about that after party is you were a cunt filming at the after party. And he would do this all the time because this was towards the end of his playing career and he was trying to build up content and he was trying to build up being a fucking like being an influencer. And he would say anything for clout. All of that ex-Na'vi guys, they never got over not being a big deal anymore. Senya, Starix, Zeus, they're all there going, I've heard a secret that this is happening. Remember, was it Starix who came out during the coaching bug and said, oh yeah, I knew everybody was cheating the whole time. You did you? Didn't tell anyone? Well, fuck you then. You can have the biggest ban of all. And then, by the way, it came out he was cheating. And I think had to serve like a 6-month ban or whatever. So those guys just never got over not being the big show anymore, and they just became clout goblins. Always like when I brought the CS2 news, they were there. It's not right. It's not right. Click on my video. Listen to me. They fucking hate me, but listen, I don't hate many people. I can't stand them. I can't stand those people, and I feel vindicated because the story I'm about to tell you is mental. It is mental. And it once again involves Zeus and his fucking need to film things and post things that maybe you shouldn't. So there was an incident where obviously Zeus going to China, making content, doing things. Zeus is divorced now. He had an insane, messy divorce. There's all sorts of mad stories about that. I won't talk about that. I'll be more respectful than Zeus would be. But the long and the short of it was he had a fucking bad divorce, and he's still good looking for his age. He's obviously got lots of money. Don't ever forget he used to run that gambling site that just got closed down and never talked about again. Everybody still loves him. He has a ton of money and he likes to travel the world and basically flex and use his money and use his clout and use his charisma and use his physique to get laid. Many such cases. It's fine, I guess. And anyway, he slept with a Chinese student. So, you can place the age, early 20s. Obviously, he's closer to my age than her age. And he slept with a student, and then he posted a video of them, not anything sexual, but just a video of them, like in a room, before they're about to consummate or after they've done it or whatever. And he put out, and I think it was like a post like saying like, haha, easy girl or something is the translation. Now, that is fucking wild to me, friends. That is wild to me that a 37-year-old divorcee goes to China to make Counter-Strike content, sleeps with a young Chinese student, films it while they're fooling around, and then puts it out for content. Even though it's not anything sexual, it still shows that they were together and intimate. And, she might have had a boyfriend, all of this stuff. But he just posted it, just wanted to brag, wanted to flex. What a pathetic old man. As I said, 37 years old. And you're bragging about sleeping with 21, 22-year-old girls abroad who are only doing it because of your profile and your money. Fucking grow up, mate. So, anyway, that went viral in the Chinese community. And I've got some insight into this too. I've covered a lot about China down the years. I've learned a lot about the Chinese fan base, what makes them tick. Now, by the way, I love the Chinese fan base. They're some of the most engaged fans. They have actual intelligent discussions. They're not just crazy people like K-pop. They actually they are you will get like intelligent discussions and back and forths. But if they ever feel that they are being disrespected, and by the way, the Chinese government obviously pumps them full of propaganda that out there in the world, all these other countries hate China. No, we just hate your tyrannical government that censors everything and fucking, treats the populace really bad and pretends you don't have Uyghur Muslims in camps in the autonomous Xinjiang region. Well, that's what we hate over here. But of course, the Chinese people aren't told that. They're told that we don't respect the Chinese people. It's not true. We love the Chinese people. Of course we do. Why wouldn't we? We love Chinese culture. We love Chinese history. What a great nation it truly is. What a great contribution it's made to human civilization. You'd be mad not to think that. But they get told Westerners feel that way, Europeans feel that way, Americans feel that way. It's not true. So they're very culturally sensitive to disrespect. And so I know this from Dota. I know this from Dota 2. I remember there was one guy there, one player called I think it was cuckoo, and he used onomatopoeic reference to the Chinese language, which was construed as racism. And I've never seen anything like this, not in Dota. Basically, all the Chinese players, first of all, they refused, they were going to boycott the tournament. Then they decided what we're going to do is we're going to lobby Valve and all of the Chinese organizers. And by the way, there was a major coming up in China, right? So for the first time ever, Valve intervened because all the Chinese players were playing every game and they had the word respect in their names because they felt they'd been disrespected. And the Chinese government, a Chinese government representative said, we advise Cuckoo doesn't travel to China because we cannot guarantee his safety. So offensive he was to the fans. The fans were bombarding him every day, apologized, it did no good. Valve just said, you can't go. We're punishing you. Done. It's the only time they've ever done it. Keep in mind, I think it was Mind Control that said he wanted all Russians to die. Just said that publicly. We've had Dota players say the N-word on stream. They all get to play. But this time, he did it about the Chinese. So GG, no re. And that's just how that goes. If the Chinese think you're disrespecting them, they're going to go fucking spare. Now, Zeus has said a million stupid things in his career and done a million stupid things, got away with them all. Let's not forget about the name of his knife, which he just got away with the entire time, which, by the way, would have been absolutely cancelable between the years 2014 and 2020. And you can go find the episode where I said, look, mate, I just said to Duncan, I said, look, for me, Zeus is a cunt. I don't say about many people. He's a cunt. The end. Only thinks about himself. Only selfish. So it went onto the CSGO subreddit, and somebody had made a collage of all of the Chinese social media posts about the incident and about him posting it because Chinese. The initial reaction was, why is he saying this Chinese girl's easy? Why is he disrespecting a Chinese student? The Chinese fans did not like what he was putting out there. And people put that up. And he, of course, deleted his post like a coward. And it was being discussed on, all the Chinese social media platforms. And this guy made a collage. The mods took that down. I can prove it to you because obviously we had, it got talked about on HLTV, right? Where the mods did not take it down. And it was just called Zeus, what doing? Right? And then it linked to the thread that got deleted. And it said, I'd sleep with a major winner too, but how does this get someone expelled from a university? More on that in a moment. But there you go. That was the thread. This was deemed Zeus involved in Chinese scandal leading a university student being expelled. It was removed under Rule 1. Rule 1 is the relevancy rule. Apparently, an ex-player creating an international incident is not worth talking about on CSGO subreddit. It's like, guys, I hate doing this to you. I like you moderators. You've been very kind and, giving me a lot of time down the years. This is an absolute righteous thread to be up there. If Duncan had created an international incident with bad behavior or he'd tweeted something that was deemed disrespectful about women, by the way, him saying, I am esports, fucking was allowed on this subreddit for fuck's sake. You can't pick and choose. You can't play favorites. Why am I saying it's an international incident? Well, why indeed? Incredibly, it caused such a fuss because the student got expelled. She got expelled for immoral, improper behavior that brought China into disrepute. That is what the university said. And it's crazy to think that her life is now ruined because he just couldn't be asked to fucking have a bit of decorum, a bit of respect, dare I say, and ultimately he fucking has ruined a young girl's life. And how do I know all of this? Because it only made the fucking New York Times, guys. It only made the New York fucking Times. Do you know why? China is now having a national debate about how women are treated in their society because of this incident. Not a slow news day. Dude, I've seen clips on social media of Chinese. It's been talked about on like talk shows and stuff. So, Chinese university expels woman for improper contact with a foreigner. The university published the student's full name, by the way, doxed her essentially, and said her behaviour had damaged national dignity. The move prompted an online debate and accusations of sexism. So here you go. Reporting from Beijing for the New York Times. A Chinese university said it would expel a student because she had improper contact with a foreigner and damaged national dignity after 2 videos circulated online that suggested she'd been intimate with a Ukrainian video gamer. The announcement set off heated debate in China. Some commentators applauded the decision and said that Chinese people, particularly women, were too enamored of foreigners. Like, as in, they love foreigners too much. Why are you getting with all the white boys? You know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? What a mad racist thing to say. But others said the expulsion smacked of sexism and paternalism and compared it to examples of people accused of rape or sexual harassment on campus that have been punished more lightly. I think there was an incident, they might mention it in this article before we get there, but I think there was an incident where a group of guys had been creating and distributing revenge porn of female students on the campus, and they just got like a temporary suspension and a warning. Many also criticized the university, Dalian I'm saying Dalian, it probably doesn't pronounce that way if it's China, it's probably Dalian or something, but whatever. Polytechnic University in northeastern China for publicly shaming the student by posting its expulsion notice on its website last week and identifying the student by her full name. By the way, she didn't even just that's a Dalian, thank you. She didn't even just get expelled. She got publicly outed as being the one that got expelled. Zeus had deleted the video. She could have maybe skated and not been completely ritualistically humiliated in public, but the university made sure that that happened. If there is anyone who truly undermined national dignity in this case, it was not the woman whose privacy rights were violated, said Zhao Hong, a professor of law at Peking University in Beijing. He wrote this in an opinion column. But the online spectators who frantically humiliated an ordinary woman under the banner of so-called justice and the educational institution that used stale moral commandments. The university said the student's conduct in an incident it said took place on December 16th had caused a negative impact. It gave no details, but said the student was being punished in accordance with a university regulation about civic morality. That regulation reads, those who have improper contact with foreigners and damage the national dignity and the reputation of the school should be given a demerit or above, depending on the circumstances. Chinese social media users quickly linked the announcements to videos shared on the date by a Ukrainian professional video gamer, Danilo Teslenko, who goes by the nickname Zeus. By the way, he's living up to that nickname, isn't he? Just fucking slinging dick everywhere. Just like Zeus. Might turn into a swan. Who knows? Mr. Teslenko, who had been visiting Shanghai for an esports tournament, had posted videos of himself with a Chinese woman to his Telegram channel, where he currently has about 43,000 subscribers, all for clout. Mr. Teslenko has since deleted the videos. Screenshots and recordings still circulating online show the two apparently in a hotel room, with the woman seemingly aware she is being filmed, but do not show any sexually explicit behavior. In an emailed response for questions, Mr. Teslenko said he had deleted the videos when he realized they were spreading on Chinese social media. I understand that these clips, although not intimate in nature, were too personal and inappropriate for public sharing, he wrote. That was my mistake, and I sincerely apologize for it. By the way, bro, there's one of these situations in life, an apology does not fucking fix this. Her life is ruined, mate. Her life is ruined so you could pipe someone and brag about it. Like, her life is fucking done, mate. She can't go to any more universities. She can't complete her course in a country that values academia, but also sort of disproportionately treats women compared to how they treat men. Disproportionately treats women poorly. You've absolutely wrecked her. And of course, he'll learn nothing from this, as we'll get to. On Chinese social media, there was general agreement among commentators that there had been disrespect, but the question was, by whom? Users who cheered the university's decision said that the woman had shamed China by making it seem as if Chinese women were promiscuous, especially with white men. A tech blogger, by the way, that's real discourse that's happening now. A tech blogger with 14 million followers wrote on the platform Weibo that fawning over foreigners would never bring respect and that some mistakes are unforgivable. Some state media outlets also shared the woman's full name. But others asked why the vitriol seemed to be directed primarily at the woman rather than Mr. Teslenko for sharing the videos. Mr. Teslenko frequently makes crude jokes, including about women, online. In posts to his subscribers on Telegram accompanying the Shanghai videos, he had indicated he would show photos of her if his post drew enough likes. Do you see the problem? By the way, this guy will be welcome with open arms to the major. He will be sent to see, he will be invited to CS tournaments after doing this. And people will be like, yeah, but he's just an influencer, bro. Other users criticized the university for trying to enforce outdated moral standards. According to the university regulations, other behavior that could lead to censure included listening to music too loudly and any premarital sexual activity. The woman could not be reached for comment. The university did not return requests for comment. Some people also pointed out that Chinese men who post on social media seeking or showing off Caucasian wives are often hailed as national heroes and paragons of masculinity. Others highlighted the case of a male student who was found guilty of rape and put on probation by his university, or a male professor who was allowed to keep teaching after sexually harassing students. Some prominent legal scholars encouraged the female student to sue the university for infringing on her rights to privacy and an education. As an adult woman, whether she has had a sexual relationship with others is entirely within her right to sexual autonomy, said Professor Zhao, the law professor from earlier. Some official media outlets also offered measured defenses of the woman. The Global Times, a tabloid controlled by the ruling Chinese Communist Party, wrote a commentary that said problem students should be guided to recognize their mistakes, but in private. Others noted that the expulsion might not be final. The notice said the student had 60 days to appeal, but that the revelation of her identity was, of course, irreversible. So there he is. Mr. fucking documentarian, Mr. filmographer. It's worse than you thought, isn't it? Oh, well, we could all just post a silly video. Haha, look at this woman I had sex with. I will post intimate photos I took, probably during that sex session while I was at that event. If this gets likes, haha, I'm a good person. Haha, community loves me. By the way, the community still does love him, don't they? In that HLTV thread I showed you, it's all full of like, I don't want to say rationalizations for his behavior, but oh, leave him. He went through a bad divorce. He's drinking heavily and doesn't know what he's doing these days. All right then, let's apply that energy to every pisshead that ruins people's lives through their own fucking lack of consideration and basic empathy. At 37, I wouldn't usually touch a story like this. I think it's a bit derisory. I am essentially, this is Jake Lucky slop, isn't it? But because it's this guy, and we talked about this 10 fucking years ago, and he just hasn't learned a lesson, hasn't grown up, and is doing the same thing. By the way, to impress like fucking teenage Counter-Strike players on Telegram. Love me, remember me. It's so cringe, it's beyond a joke. And now the cringe has an actual fucking body count for fucking, just all she did was have sex with somebody she probably like looked up to on some level, or was impressed by, or like showed her a good time because he's got the financial capability to do it. I mean, look, this is who we're fucking dealing with, guys. It's actually fucking insane. Look at the bio. 10 times Counter-Strike major finalist. Navi OG. Major winner with Zeus blog manager at gmail.com. Book me for your event here. I don't have the cover of the book nearby where they Photoshop. Yeah, because it's a cover of him like with injuries all over him, but because his book's all about how he overcome adversity, he was just in the right place at the right time to benefit from the Arbalete money. Anyway, he deleted the videos on Telegram. Remember, the videos he said that if they got enough likes, he'd leak the pictures. And by the way, respect to the Chinese fans. The Chinese fans said, like, how dare you? You know what I mean? How dare you do this? How dare you treat a Chinese woman this way? This is fucking insane, bro. You're fucking... Oh, by the way, go look at the replies. You'll have to hit translate a lot on Twitter, so you're going to have an account. But fucking hell, he's getting lit the fuck up. And yeah, 3.6 replies, just the most replies to any tweet he's had. About 6 months ago, I posted a few videos. By the way, listen to how he makes it sound. I posted a few videos on Telegram with a girl I met in Shanghai. Our faces were visible, but there was no explicit content or anything disrespectful in those videos. It's not disrespectful to use those videos to say you'll release photos. I imagine, by the way, the photos were in some way titillating or salacious. Otherwise, what's the incentive to like the video? But whatever. What did he mean by photos? Photos of what exactly? We'll never know. At the time, it felt like just a normal moment from life. I didn't realize it could affect someone's personal situation. It's because you don't fucking think and you're knocking on the door of 40, mate. You're nearly 40 and you still don't think about consequences. You don't think beyond yourself. Later, I found out the girl was in a relationship and she faced a lot of hate because of it. No, that's not the problem here, Zeusy boy. You still don't get it. You've ruined her life. She's out of a university now, out of an education, publicly known as the fucking girl that slept with you. By the way, also kind of embarrassing for, like, some chicks will just sleep with older guys, but, like, they don't tell anyone about it. You're just essentially getting a freebie, right? They don't talk about it. They don't bring that up. Even when they talk about their body count when they settle down, they never talk about you, the crusty old guy. I truly regret that things turned out this way. As soon as I understood the seriousness of the situation, I deleted the videos. I never meant to hurt anyone. It wasn't intentional. I'm not hiding or making excuses. I'm just being honest. But now look what he does, and this is classic Zeus. Zero accountability, and actually the person that's complaining is the bad person. For the record, I was not married, not in a relationship. Rumors about a wife or family are simply false. So she was in a relationship. Why mention this detail, bro? I'll tell you why. Because he's trying to turn the tide of the hate that he's currently getting against her. Let us not forget a 21, 22-year-old student whose life he's ruined. Great human being, this guy. That's exactly the psychological mechanism that's at play. She was in a relationship, but I wasn't. Surely the cheater is the worst person in this equation. No, it's still you, you fucking bellend. It's still you. Please, stop the hate. To me, is what he means, not to her. We all make mistakes, and I've learned from mine. By the way, if he had any degree of empathy at all, he could have said, "This is all my fault. I posted the video. Please direct your hate at me and not her. She did nothing wrong." You could have just said that. He chose not to say that. And not saying that is a choice. I want to move forward with respect toward everyone involved. Let's put an end to this topic. And if there's any way I can help the girl who was affected, I'd be glad to do so. Can you get her enrolled in a prestigious Chinese university, mate? Can your muscle vest and your fucking shit sunglasses that look like they cost £2 that you buy off someone on a beach in Portugal, can those accoutrements fix her life? Oh, no, they can't. All right, well. And then he did a follow-up. Guys, let me respond to everyone at once. I never said Chinese girls are easy. That's completely untrue. I have deep respect for China and Chinese culture. I did nothing wrong. The only unfortunate thing is that the girl never mentioned she had a boyfriend. Again, he's doubling down on it, doubling down on trying to get them to hate her. I believe if it weren't for that detail, nothing bad would have happened. But the way you're behaving is terrible. Instead of looking for the truth, you're just writing hateful comments. That doesn't make you good people. Now, what's interesting is, right, just to show you the levels, this is the type of reply he's getting from Chinese accounts right now, right? They're getting biblical on this motherfucker. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Proverbs. By the way, fucking what a pull, like, fair enough. I see you know your Bible well. But if you go look at the replies, right, I'll just scroll through and read you some. Never come to China again. You're not welcome here. That's one. There was only one slip up that was made here, and it was putting those videos in a group chat. Keep that stuff private instead of blasting it to a group. You don't need to declare to anyone whether you think you're innocent or not. You just need to convince yourself. Convince yourself that posting a sex video of a woman without her consent is justified. Convince yourself that recording sexual acts is just a normal moment. And stand by the belief that every woman in your family, your mother, daughter, or sister can have their intimate videos shared freely by any of their sexual partners, whether they consent or not. But it seems you have no other family nor a mother because no one ever taught you how to respect women. It's cold in them streets, guys. Like, he's getting absolutely fucking lit up. Like, by the way, I am not having to work hard for these comments. I am just going down the list. Get this one. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention something to you. While your country was under attack, you went out on a noble mission, not to defend your homeland, but to score in a Shanghai hotel room. So brave. And naturally, you didn't show your own naked body because that would require the real confidence of a man. Instead, you filmed her naked and uploaded it online. That's where you found your manhood. Truly inspiring. Oh, dearie, dear, like, dearie, dear. As you can imagine, I was scrolling through this all day. This was like crack to me. But I still got to say, I feel unbelievably sorry for that girl. Someone says here, this is another thing. In the video, to describe her, you called her a cheap Brazilian steak. I don't know if that's a mistranslation or something. And she posted the chat where she asked you to take the video down, and you didn't until you felt the heat. No concern about her plight. What, by the way, why are you goofing off playing video games when real Ukrainian men fight for their motherland? It's just every day that just fucking bang, the hits just keep coming. Yo, here you go. Somebody as a screenshot of what he said here, right? So now again, I usually wouldn't post a screenshot I myself can't verify, but I don't follow Zeus on Telegram. But somebody said, "Why did you say this, bro?" And I've seen this reported everywhere. And I've seen this screenshot, just not with this complete line. But there. Chinese girls is about as easy as buying a cheap steak here in Brazil. Very easy. Just a cool guy. He's just a cool guy. And as I said, remember this. He's going to get invited back. He'll be welcome. He'll be welcome back to CS events when no one else would be welcome if they'd done this. He's going to be there. Look at me. Everyone's going to go, oh, yeah, he's such a great guy. You know, put it this way. I've done some pretty shit things. I never ruined anybody's life. I never denied them the chance at an academic career. I said some mean things on Twitter. I blocked people when they were harassing me or calling me names. That was enough for me to be despised. So for her, it's a tragedy. I mean, like, her life is never going to be the same. And again, also, he could just brag to some fucking teenagers in a Telegram channel. Really doesn't seem fair that happened to her, no matter how he tries to spin it with what looks suspiciously like AI slop written apologies. It's totally fucked her life up, and he can't fix it. There's no way to fix it. It's like having a drink, getting in a car, and killing somebody. You can never touch a drop of drink again. You can fucking give money to the family, you can give money to charity, you can serve your time peacefully and respectfully in prison. That person's still dead. Their life's still over. You know, it's like you can't fix everything with apologies. It just doesn't work that way. Sorry is not always good enough. And by the way, you're not even close to atoning. You've just said, if I can help her in any way, you could have helped her taking down a video when she asked, apparently, but you didn't. Could have not posted a video. Why would it ever be okay to post a video of you saying that with her face in it? Look at this. It's like ordering a steak. What? What the fuck? What mad objectification shit are you on? Like, that still can't be culturally okay just because you're Ukrainian in 2025. I know Ukrainians. I don't know Ukrainians that say shit like that. That's fucking bonkers, mate. You're like a fucking dinosaur. You're a troglodyte. An absolute fucking troglodyte. Just a muscle-bound oaf. Blundering through life. And just getting away with it because you were good at a video game for a little fucking period of time. So, I mean, look, you know, I'll say something if he's at another event that I'm working. Certainly, you know, that has to be disqualifying, in my opinion. But it won't be. It's Counter-Strike. We just let assholes fucking run riot in this scene.